time, we have had several landmarks, I think, in this direction. Partnerships with leading exchanges, for example, like the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, which is the central sort of exchange globally when it comes to sustainability financing. But then more importantly, in working with our corporates, working with the government, working with issuers, you would see an established track record of sustainable financing. So really look forward to this opportunity that we think will do a few things. One, I'm very delighted to see that my regulator and who we call the boss of the Nigerian capital markets is here. I think I'm almost tempted to say everything rests on his shoulder, but maybe just a little bit rests on our shoulder as the market. Ultimately, I'm glad to see that the regulator is here. We have a regulator today who is extremely knowledgeable about many of these topics, which is very good. And is not just knowledgeable, at the same time is also very keen to see a market that is dynamic, a market that is innovative. And to see him here this morning, I think is a very strong testament to that.
In the four corners of this nation, we speak to issues that affect green. We speak to issues that affect the climate. We speak to issues that affect sustainability. And of course, that is critical for us to be able to drive our nation to the development stage that we desire to have it. But beyond that, the SEC has been at the forefront of trying to get people to understand exactly what this speaks to, because we're speaking to a new class of instrument that is both sustainable, a new class of instrument that will bring diversity to our economy and to the securities issuance system. We're also bringing about a breath of fresh air regarding our investment attitude, because we're speaking to investment attitude that helps us develop our climate, develops our environment, and develops the basic instruments around, or the basic issues around our existence. So the SEC, as far back as October 2018, issued the Green Bond Rules. That is to provide some support and benchmark in further issuances, both by government and companies. We look forward to a situation where more companies are going to issue green instruments in whatever form. So, and why I'm so interested and excited about it is, if you go to the South, you speak about the marine and blue economy. You come to Lagos, which is the Southwest, you talk about pollution and issues around pollution. You go to the North, you talk about desertification and the issues around the desertification. You go to the East, you talk about gully erosion and all of this. So you see, in the four corners of this nation, all we'll be talking about is sustainability. And sustainability cannot run on its own without finance. That is why you have the exchanges, you have the SEC, who is the regulator of that space, being here today.
We're really happy to be key supporters of FSDA, Financial Sector Deepening Africa, who provide support on green bonds, sovereign and other. And of course, through our shareholding of the World Bank, we are keen always keen to support the work of IFC. There's a couple of other instruments that are relevant. One is the Mobilist program, which provides technical assistance and equity to new listed instruments. Not solely green, not solely environmental, much broader development remit, but also comes under this umbrella of climate finance. And through our energy programs as well, we are looking at different ways of supporting increases in flows of climate finance. But yeah, really keen to support a green bond initiative and to be here today participating in this discussion.
Over the past few years, Nigeria has made significant strides in green finance, marked by successful issuance of 2 sovereign green bonds. The 2 issuances, amounting to the total of $165 million, have been instrumental in financing climate-smart projects across various sectors, including renewable energy, afforestation, and sustainable transportation. The initiatives have not only underscored our commitment to environmental stewardship, but also highlight our resolve to integrate sustainability in our national development strategy. The role of the private sector and capital market actors in this journey cannot be overemphasized. The scale of resources required to address climate change and drive sustainable development far exceeds the capacity of governments alone. This is why we're here. It far exceeds the capacity of our government. So we need to come here and solicit your support. Hence, the involvement of the private sector is crucial to our success. Participation of the private sector brings in the necessary capital, innovation, efficiency, which are vital for scaling up green finance initiatives. By collaborating with financial institutions, development partners, and capital market operators, we can create a robust ecosystem that supports green investment as well as drive impactful changes to our environment. As we prepare for this third issuance of Nigerian sovereign green bond, it is imperative to reflect on the lessons learned from the previous issuance. These experiences have provided a valuable insight into the challenges and opportunities in green finance. Our focus now is to develop, to leverage on this insight in order to enhance the effectiveness of our green bond program, as well as ensure that the proceeds realized are used efficiently to achieve climate and environmental development goals.
That our collective efforts today will contribute to greener and more prosperous Nigeria. Today's meeting represents a vital platform for dialogue, collaboration, and action toward unlocking the potential of green bond in driving our sustainable development objectives. The convergence of government officials, the chairman,
as an exchange group of companies where, across all our verticals, and also as the holding company, we have very strong sort of partnerships and approaches to drive in what I think has been a legacy subject matter at the exchange, the idea of sustainable financing, green bonds. I think for us is both coming with the product, which is one of the things we're discussing today, but also making sure that we have the right frameworks, the right sorts of partnerships to draw in capital, to pull in capital to stimulate that market.
We all know what our environment is going through. We have a lot of issues, like we've mentioned the issue of flood, which I think we are going through part of it in Lagos, but I also say that there's also flood in the north, where I always say we least expect to have flood in the north because it's a dry area and the rain are not so heavy, but because the location is ill prepared for the flood, normally when it comes there, it's very devastating. So we have many issues that we need funding for. Flood, desert is encroaching, we have coastal erosions, we have gully erosions, we have issues with open defecation, we have issues about pollution, and so many issues that we are handling. And we have so many, I come here and say so many things that we're trying to do. We have this issue of circular economy we're trying to do. We have this issue of trying to also raise funding for addressing some of these climatic issues. So we need this fund. There is no way the government can give us all the funds that we require to do that. And this is not the first time this was issued. It was issued earlier. The last one was 2019, and since then there was no issue. So we want, that's why we are coming here, join hands with the stock exchange, and see that we can now make it an annual event.